Hey, everybody. This is me, Spencer T, and Molly. Hey, Molly.
Hey everyone.
What is going on with you, girl?
Oh god. I'm I'm waiting for March to come so that the new job can start. I'm excited for
Oh,
that.
yeah. I forgot about that. Are
I'm
since
excited for that.
quarantine. Okay, so what I'm
Oh,
just going to let you know right now, I'm sharing our stream because last time I did. I don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah, having the new job in Corona, you've been talking about that forever. I'm so glad that that's happening for you right now.
well, so am I, girl. It was it was a mess.
Oh,
That's
I
for
can only
sure.
imagine. I can only imagine. Let's see who we got out here. Oh, and that's you actually here. And let me change some settings here. And as we do that, we're going to go ahead and get into our show. So our first subject, or the first thing we're going to talk about today, is actually a pop culture topic. We're debriefing soon in our episode 2 of for the Raz B interview. A lot of people was like, "Who is this Raz B? Who is this Raz B that she's posting about?" He is a celebrity. He is one-fourth of the group called B2K, R&B urban group, international group, and he made claims and allegations of child sex abuse by two current Jehovah Witnesses who are active in the organization, who are also celebrities. His former producer and a friend of his, who you guys might know as Marcus Houston or Roger from of his fame and Sister and him being in a group called Immature. So today we're going to talk about, I guess, a little bit about what that interview was like. I hope everybody caught it. First of all, it was on King Jazz platform, so that was exciting for me. I love King Jazz.
Right.
What about you, Molly?
I I feel like we did great
I
with
was
the
so
interview.
nervous.
So,
Were you
oh
nervous?
yeah, I was nervous as hell because I wanted to give this person and his story justice. So I was like, oh my God, are we doing everything right?
Right,
And
right.
apparently we were. So
And then you know what? It was the whole back and forth because he is like a celebrity. He has his own schedule. Like normally you deal with their managers and stuff like that, but like dealing with
right.
him more one on one, that was kind of neat to be able to talk to him. And then he got in an accident, and like a lot of things happened up to that point that we almost thought he wouldn't make
Yeah.
it to the, you know, to the
It
interview.
was
Right?
nerve-wracking.
It
It was
was.
nerve-wracking.
It really was. But I think we did a good job. We collabed with a church blogger, who also exposes sex abuse in his
Right.
church or organization, the Kojic organization, and so we were able to compare notes, talk about share stories, listen to Raz's story and his plea to the Jehovah's Witnesses to take a look into his allegations, like and by way of as an investigation or a judicial committee. So if you missed that, we will link it below so you can take a look at it. Don't miss out. There's also a petition that we're asking everyone to sign. Chessa is going to be going live, I think today, to talk more about the petition and what we need from everyone. So you don't want to miss that. Hey, where did you go, Molly? So make sure you sign that. We'll put the petition in the notes. I mean, in this post, so that you'll be able to take a look at it. He also is funding a survivors fund for child sex abuse survivors through a GoFundMe that he partnered with his. We don't usually endorse other people's the GoFundMe's now, y'all, and we're not going to start today. We're just letting you know that it is there. All right, so I guess we're moving on to our next topic here.
Right.
Politics, one of my favorite things to talk about. So what do
That's
you
right.
think? Should Donald Trump be impeached a second time?
Well, given that, oh, I almost said this sentence in a very inappropriate way, but given that, other presidents have been impeached for less, I
True.
do think that he should. Plus, also that would prevent him from running again in in 2024. Jesus. So I do think that would be a great safety net,
We talk over.
even though even though you can bet that there's gonna be his like disciples running over and over again, but at least that safety net would be there.
I'm
So
sorry. It
in
looks
my
like we're having some
opinion,
issues with some internet here. So I don't know if I'm hoping you guys can hear us. And I don't know. It looks like we're losing the stream on Twitch. I don't know. Sorry, Molly. Do you still see it?
mm-hmm, I see us all right on Twitch.
So,
So
so I have maybe an unpopular opinion. I do think he should have, if he committed a high crime or misdemeanor, meaning a high crime or misdemeanor that only a president can commit, that
mm-hmm,
there should be a DOJ investigation. I think I've been listening to the proceedings on and off, and actually, I think the person that's representing Trump is just absolutely
right,
abysmal. His arguments are just absolutely abysmal. But he did say something I thought made sense. He said that if in fact the Democrats or the other people who are claiming that he incited a resurrection have proof that he actually did, I mean, that would be like the crime of the century. Like, why in the world are you asking that he not run again? Um, Asking the DOJ to investigate him directly and arrest him and charge him with the crime. I mean, that would definitely keep him from also not. You think like
very true.
how much political theater everything that we might be seeing with the
Right,
insurrection. I'm not saying that I don't think he directly. I don't think he directly incited people to do that. I mean, and here's why I say that. Now, this is kind of irony because Republicans, or I don't say Republicans, the Trump Republicans, who
yeah,
denounced the protests over the summer as there were some riots there. There were some what you might call bad actors, but not everybody
right,
there was rioting, right? So when you
right,
fast forward to the insurrection, you see a small slice of people rioting and acting a fool. I don't think that's something that Trump could have prevented or slice of. It seemed to me, I watched it in live and in color, that the majority
yes,
was just kind of standing around and kind of acting like it was a festival. Now, and these news organizations don't show what I saw in real time. They just slice it up and only show that bad part. But I remember watching it live, like, yeah, what are they doing over there in that corner, looking at everybody else that was just kind of standing around. So I don't know. It
mm-hmm.
was kind of a lesson for me about the media. I'm not trying to be all like Trump, the whole fake news, but they put out what they want to put out. If they want a certain narrative,
Yeah, that's
should
also fair, but what's
like it.
important is
Yeah.
that like he doesn't need to say, "Hey, dear, dear Nazis or dear white supremacists, go out and set the Capitol building on fire for me." But the way he kept saying, "Oh, this election is rigged. It's rigged. It's rigged. It's rigged. It's rigged. It's rigged."
Oh yeah, that's that part because that's
So I feel
a big
like
lie.
it's important to realize that um, implicit messaging exists in the way we communicate. Like we, by our tone, the words we use, the way we carry ourselves, um, the inflections we use and we have in our voice and in our in our micro communications, in our face and all of that. I feel like it's
Mm-hmm.
important to realize that you don't need to say letter by letter. It can be just as bad even if you don't spell it out that
So
blatantly.
okay, so we agree there because the big lie that he won the election got everybody stirred up. It was stirring emotions up, and people were getting death threats and stuff. He
Mm-mm.
has that when you have that type of platform. I do agree with in that trying to prevent him to run a second time. No, we're trying to hold him accountable. Like
Right.
things, if you think you have the evidence that he is linked to this insurrection, put up or shut up. Like the political
Yes,
theater
and
of
I
wanting to
hope they
talk
will.
about it in the chambers and want to perform for the TV for clout and all that. Because believe me, believe you me, those politicians do a lot like everybody
Right.
else. Okay, to me, it makes no sense. If he did it, where is the police? Why is he walking the street? Like, what is going on?
Right.
And
I
we
do
should be
hope
doing
that.
something else besides that. But you know,
Mm-mm.
somebody I talked to made I didn't mean to cut you off, made a point that
Right.
if we don't people that are waiting in the wings to support him and do this again, give him hope if we allow him to run the second time. We
Mm-hmm.
allow that what we witnessed over this Trump administration was like a disease. Like if you have to get it at its root.
Right.
I don't know. So I don't know. I see both sides. I do.
I feel like and feel like it's a very bad way to put it, but I hope that he will be prosecuted, and I hope that his taxing records will be looked into and all that.
Hey, hey, Adam,
Because
for joining us. He said if Trump is going to be charged for the crime of language in political campaign and their bad behavior, then maybe we need to look at all of the riots of the support politically and have some of the politicians comment at the time. Thank you so much. You know what? I actually thought about. Okay, so this is also an unpopular opinion. The riots, when you talk about the riots over the last 8 years, there was a lot of strong being used well. I
mm-mm,
mean that people who are emotionally unstable or just don't have the emotional intelligence to be able to process what people are not saying. People, I mean, those
right,
type of people will do that kind of stuff anyway. Whether it was Waters, whether it was anybody. I just think this is
right,
to me. He needs to be held accountable for lying. He needs to be accountable for pressuring politicians and all that kind of stuff. Maybe a censor would have been appropriate, but to try to impeach a man that's not even there, make that make sense to me. What are you impeaching him from? I know this is the mechanism in which to use to not allow him to run again, but I'm trying to tell you, this is not going to bring unity. And I'm not saying that he should be held accountable because being held accountable is on the road to unifying. But at the same time,
right,
like using this mechanism to punish a president that's no longer there, I just can see it's going to be bad blood. What's going to stop them from doing this for Biden or keep doing this back and forth to each other? I don't know. It's already broken in Washington. I just think this is just gonna give it so much beef. Dirk, I just want to let you know that we see your comments. But I'll flash them across the screen, but I don't. When you join us, I don't know what language you're speaking. It doesn't translate it for us in the third-party software that we use. So sorry. I do understand the Jehovah's something. Is that Jehovah's Witnesses with the
I'd figure so, yeah.
thinking emoji? The emojis are pretty universal sometimes. So I guess those are our thoughts on the politics of the day. So let's
Yeah.
talk about trending. You want to go first on this? Did you see the documentary?
Not yet. I've seen parts though. And first of all,
Okay.
I have been following the hashtag Free Britney movement for the longest. Okay.
Girl, I bought my first Britney CD. I remember what it looked like. I've been rocking with Britney since Mickey Mouse Club. I'm that kind of telling my age a little bit here, but yeah.
I loved her since her like very first, like maybe it's because in Hungary there's a delay between how y'all are getting it and how we are getting it, but or especially we were in that time without the lightning fast internet where everything is available in 2 seconds after it's uploaded. But
Okay, that's understandable.
But I was obsessed with Britney. She's super talented. I feel like she's a person who has been through a lot, and I feel like her using her mental illness to keep her in this like conservatorship is very ableist. It's very condescending and
it can
and
happen to
very
anybody. If it can happen to Britney, that can happen to anybody. It was scary. I mean, because
right.
we're very open on our platform about the mental health challenges we face. What if somebody did that to us?
Right. It's just crazy, and not to mention all the bullshit she received for having a mental breakdown. Like, my dude, she needed help and she needs help. Like, ever since the hashtag Free Britney movement appeared, I have been following it. So I will be watching this documentary, and I'm I'm definitely gonna keep up with the Free Britney movement because something ain't going right with that conservatorship.
Now, so I did watch the documentary. I watched all but 15 minutes, the last 15 minutes. I was very nostalgic because I remember her on her come up. I remember her rise. I remember those outfits. I remember those songs. So I was a total Britney fan. When she started falling off with the world, when she, I guess, started, I guess, really to me, breaking up with Justin, looking at the documentary was where the world kind of turned on her, like she wasn't like this sweetheart anymore. I mean, the misogynistic themes of the media, the misogynistic attitude of Justin Timberlake. I mean, girl, Black folks been done with Justin Timberlake when he left Janet Jackson out there. Remember on Super Bowl when he pulled her thing, off and showed off her breasts on Super
I remember.
Bowl live, girl. Yeah, so after that, when he didn't apologize and left her out there like that, Black folks been done with him. Now, I think his apology is too little, too late because number one, it's too little because it does not encapsulate the misogyny and the fact that he used his platform and really his gender to get the best headlines and basically to crush these women who were at the top of their game. It's so too late. He only did it because it's documentary and people was dragging him child online. So like, yeah, it's too late.
As they should.
As
it's
they
crazy.
should.
It's really crazy because I remember the thing with Janet Jackson, and first of all, the fuck was your hand doing in that area anyway? To begin with,
it was planned. It was totally planned. It was you could
like
tell it
let's
was
start
planned.
there.
Yeah.
Like let's start that. Why was your hand anywhere near her breasts?
Right.
Just in general. And then second, why would you lie that oh yeah she cheated on me when she didn't? Or even
crazy.
if she did, like even if she did, it's cheating unfortunately happens and it's very traumatic to be cheated on. But it's a private thing. Like I feel like people just need to remind themselves that celebrities and all these like people with a platform, including me and you, that
Right.
it's just humans who just jump in front of a camera and do that thing. And I feel like um, many a times when celebrities voice their opinion on anything, like uh, environmental protection or politics, or when they try to discuss their identity as women or as men or as queer people or transgender people, many will bark down at them and say, "You're here to entertain us. We don't care." And it's like, well, these people, we are human beings and we have the right to like speak up about issues that concern us and share our questions and thoughts with the world, no matter who you are. You have that right. And just because you can be a top celebrity, that right shouldn't be taken away from you. You should be able to express yourself and not be berated for it just because, oh, what do you know about the life
Oh, I
of
totally get. I
America?
get you, girl. Let me just say this, but you know what? I was looking at that documentary, and we can move on from a journalistic point of view because I wanted to be a journalist, and
Right.
to see Diane Sawyer, a woman, slut shaming Britney, making her feel bad about her mental illness, saying she's a bad mom. That lady, some lady said, you know what? They put a clip of her saying, "Oh, I could just kill Britney or something like that. She needs to be shot in the head." And Britney goes, "That's awful. That's awful. Like, why would she say this?" Diane was like, "Well, you are setting a bad example to everybody in America." It was just the horror of her
My
saying that
goodness.
to a young lady like that. I mean, the thing of the matter is as
Right.
much as we want to talk about the systemic misogynism and discrimination that women face, to me, Diane was acting like a pick me, honey, pick me.
Mm-mm. And not just women, but like mentally ill women.
Yes,
Girl, and I think you can definitely attest to this because so can I. Whenever I open up about my mental health or having tendencies of paranoia and having like things that I compulsively have to do and all that, and so many times people berate me for it when I express these like thoughts and when I express these issues and when I do what I have to do to, to fix them. And the way they call therapist shrinks and like crazy pills and all that is like, no, I'm not crazy. I'm not insane. I still have a functioning brain. I still have my wits about me. I'm still intelligent. However, I do have you know, mental illness, and it does require treatment and all that. And I feel like we shouldn't
what do you call
make
that? Mental health shaming, or what do you call it? I
it's
mean, I don't know,
ableism because
because I feel like with Brittany, you saw her decline, and she seemed very independent and able-bodied. Everybody who attests to that. So I don't understand the reason for the conservatorship. I really honestly do not. I just feel like they just framing that girl and stealing from
the
that girl. It's sad.
conservatorship, the
Yeah.
conservatorship is literally set up because of her bipolar,
Yeah.
basically.
Okay, so I mean that's because she got money, and like you said, we've been open about our challenges here. I have bipolar. I wish you would try to take my money because I do, or my kids. Girl, we have to
Mm.
follow up on that once I watch the last 15 minutes. I could probably have a more informed opinion. All right, here's our
Right.
last segment. We're moving fast today. We're coming up on just a half hour. Um, this is a topic near and dear to you about gatekeeping atheism. So I had a few thoughts. And then you can tell me
Right.
whether or not this is where Jimmy Snow was going, because it was all started from a video that Jimmy Snow.
Right.
Okay, so atheism is not like religion. I don't know if you
Mm-hmm.
saw the description. This is that I was trying to come up with some thoughts here, but so I'm figuring that atheism is not like a religion. There's not a leader. There's not a person over or a whole atheism movement. There's no gatekeeper. But I find that even in conversations with other Christians, whether it be in Facebook groups or on in my non-virtual life, sometimes I'm asked to defend the beliefs of other atheists, and I'm thinking like they're like, "Oh, you an atheist? Well, tell me why blase is blase split," without even asking me what my beliefs or convictions are. And that's why I put in there, we don't have to defend other atheists, nor should we even start doing that. I mean, like, there's no central organization or list of beliefs. The only
Right.
qualification to be an atheist is that you not believe the claim in gods or gods. You can believe in all other kinds of things. But Christians, the first thing they say is, "Oh, you're an atheist? What's your belief system?" It's like, what? What you mean belief system? I mean, because there's
What belief
atheists
system do?
who are not atheists that are not are humanists, and atheists who are not atheists who are skeptics. Atheists are atheists who are not skeptics. You know, they're atheists by fact that they live in a land that doesn't really have religion, but they don't really know why. It could probably give you a reasonable argument, you know, as to why
Right.
they don't believe.
Right. And please feel free to knock me over the head when I go overboard. But my thing is that atheism is literally a lack of belief in God. That's it. So that doesn't mean that you're educated. That doesn't mean um that you're a secular person. That doesn't mean that you're a humanist or a sentientist. That doesn't mean that you advocate for human equality and human rights. Many people who are atheists, and I interacted with him, still carry this Christian mindset with them. And I can say Christian mindset because I know they were Christians, and it shows that women should be silent and women should shut up and just let the men take the charge. And oh, we've all grabbed women's essays randomly at conferences. We're all dudes here. So atheism is not a united system. It's not a unified front. And I like this quote by Richard Dawkins where he says, trying to herd atheists, it's like herding cats. It's not gonna happen. Cats will just jump around and go wherever the hell they want, and so will atheists, because you cannot crack a whip at us and say, God will punish you if you do otherwise. And we're like, no, he's not. What you gonna do about who gonna check me, boo? You know, like we just do what we do, and that atheism doesn't mean anything as for your morals and all that. And when people say, "Oh, then what's the point of your life?" or all that,
Yeah,
it's just
somebody asked me the other day, like you said, whether my life has purpose, as if the only
right.
purpose would be to believe in a God. But or somebody asked me the other day, well, what do you live for? I'm looking like, well, what are you dying for?
Myself.
I have everything to live for. I guess I have very few things to die for, and I'm not living to die like a Christian is.
Mhm.
You know, I'm living now.
Right.
And you know, when it comes to Black atheism, a lot of people say, well, what is that? Well, you know, Black people have to create safe spaces in order to commune and talk about things. And when you look at the statistics, I think atheism, you're already a minority. So if you're a Black atheist, you're a minority within a minority. I think Black atheists only count of 3%. Was something that I
My
read
God.
of, mostly white males, straight white males is what I was told. But coming from a place where, or a culture where religion is culture, because when we were slaves here in America, I mean, we would sing songs. That's how we would sing old Negro spirituals. That's how we would let each other know how far along they were to get to the North to escape to freedom. So, and
Right.
also Christian slave masters made their slaves go to church, made their slaves adopt their religion. So Christianity in Black culture is like macaroni and cheese and greens. I mean, it goes hand in hand. Even if you don't actually go to church, there's no way you're going to say you're not going to believe in God. I mean, it's like in our DNA, it's in our blood. So, like,
Right.
I think that, like, keeping with our thing on our Duck and Religion segment, we cannot keep, you and I couldn't gatekeep atheism even if we wanted to. And that's also because there's so many different kinds of atheists. It'll be like
Right.
herding, what they say, like herding cats.
Yeah. And what I always say is that um your life doesn't and it sounds very I don't know, blah when you say it, but I don't believe that either death or life have intrinsic value. It's a part of life, living and dying. I don't think either of them are bad or good. I feel like they are both neutral, as in none of them has value or or negative to them. It's a neutral thing both.
High evolution is false. Every now and then, we usually get Christians who actually offer some commentary. If you said if you're going to comment on atheists, you should actually know about atheism philosophically. I just wonder what makes you think that we do not? Is it because we're women? Because I don't know. What makes you think that? I have no problem with you coming on the show, but you're not going to come up here and mansplain from a podium. Like, what makes you think we don't know about atheism philosophically, or we haven't researched it? And I think it's great that you've been studying atheism for a while, but and you said that we're YouTube atheists. I don't know. Maybe there's a generational gap here. You're welcome to invite on, but I would kind of, what would I say? What would I say
Use
here?
your own channel to proselytize, my dude.
Do you believe he's evolution false? Is he a Christian or is he an
Of course he
atheist?
is. No, dude. Nah, dude. Look, if you wanna
Oh, that makes a lot
if,
more sense. When
if
you're
you
dealing
wanna
with
if you wanna
male-dominated type of culture like Christianity, when they talk down, I guess it went completely over my head.
right. Nah, dude, if you wanna proselytize, do it on your own time, on your own channel. I'm not obligated to listen to your church crappery, okay?
Well, how in the world? Okay, can you explain to me how can somebody tell me what I don't believe in? If I'm telling you I'm an atheist, how you gonna tell me I don't know what atheism is? Like the
Like,
caucasity and the audacity.
no, my dude, you're not gonna tell me that what I need to read. I know what I read. I know what I heard. I went to many a churches, heard and uttered many a prayers to various gods, not just a Christian God.
I'm all for
And
a debate, but I mean a healthy, honest, respectful dialogue. You don't
always a
be
oh,
demeaning and say I don't know what I don't believe. I mean, I simply just said that atheism is a response to your theism, which you claim that there are gods, and I'm simply saying I don't believe your claim. And if
right.
there are gods, then produce some type of evidence for them. That's
Mhm.
simply what atheism means. It doesn't mean that I'm taking a stance that gods do not exist. I'm saying that I don't believe your claim that they do. That's it.
Right. And actually, if you wanna talk philosophical atheism, oh, sorry, I'm an asshole when religious people try to act smart. But if you wanna talk philosophical atheism, then mind you that Richard Dawkins who invented one of the most well-known scales of belief and disbelief, the Dawkins scale, actually classifies himself as a de facto atheist, which is by this scale defined as a person who does not believe that God exists. Therefore, they live their life as if God doesn't exist. However, upon evidence, they will freely and willingly reevaluate this opinion and this stance. And that's what I feel like we can both agree on that, can't we? That we can do. We both, if you present evidence that Jesus, Allah, Buddha, Vishnu, Ganesha, the
And
the
also, like when
spirits.
you when you're encountering women on the platform, don't be the actually guy. Don't be that guy. Well, actually,
Actually,
don't be that guy. All right, so yeah, hey, if you come correct, I have no problem with, like I said, open, honest debate, respectful debate.
atheists always attack strawman. Which strawman, honey?
What's the
Pinpoint.
argument? What's
Where
the
did I
argument?
strawman? Where did I strawman anything that you said? Where? If you can pinpoint accurately where either Spencer or myself we engaged in the strawman fallacy, then
You know, I think it's also interesting though. His name, Evolution is False, because I mean, not to pick on him, but thank you for offering your commentary. However disrespectful some of it was, but thank you for offering it. Um, Evolution is false. Like, why do people who are believers or theists automatically assume that you worship? That's another thing, that you worship or you have this affinity for the evolution theory in such a way that it's almost a replacement for religion. You ever heard certain people say, well, you serve evolution? It's like, huh? How can you serve evolution?
what?
That's what somebody told me the
No,
other day, child.
no. There are atheists who don't believe in evolution, and also, actually,
Right.
actually, a scientific theory is called a theory because science is flexible. Science is ever changing because science is based on peer-reviewed evidence that goes through examination, scrutiny, that goes through peer reviews, that goes through experimentation. And because of that, if today someone discovered, hey, actually, there is this thing about evolution that just doesn't check out, here's what I found that makes more sense, then the scientific community would be like, let's check it out. Because a scientific theory is as good as a fact. It's like gravity. It's the theory of gravity. It's Newton's laws. It's Newton's theories. And even gravity is called a theory because if we find another by any chance, then science is flexible enough to not be like your God.
Yeah,
And
so that's the thing about the only thing that changes science or affects science or theories is just more good science and more
evidence,
good theories, evidence.
right?
Whereas not your mama, not your preacher, none of these that people offer as credible evidence in order to believe in a God or gods, or none of that is actual proof. You know, your Bible, your holy book, what your preacher said, like I said, what your mama said,
Right.
none of that.
And
A YouTube video that you done watched, none of that.
none of that. And mind you that I didn't become an atheist because of YouTube videos. I was already an atheist when I started watching atheist debates. Guess what made me an atheist? The Bible, the Torah, the Quran. and I wanted to, and the Book of Mormon, the reading some of Dianetics, like reading these religious texts, is what made me an atheist. And I did that on my own accord. You know why? Because I wanted to prove that God exists. I went in biased, vowing to myself, I will prove that God exists.
I think for me, what made me, I don't think I became an atheist. I think it was just a gradual, it was just a gradual movement towards reason. I don't know how else to explain it because, I'm very open about that. I was a former Jehovah's Witness, for those who are listening and don't really know our background here, that I'm a former Jehovah's Witness, and I went to a non-denominational Christian church right after leaving. I was 2 months away from going to seminary school at moody.edu, and they could not answer the question as to what Bible was inspired by God. Not the translation, but which canon. Was it the Catholic canon? Was it the Protestant canon? Was it the Samaritan canon? Was it which canon? No Christian
Yeah,
could agree on which books belonged in the Bible and which did
right.
not. And so they gave me a run around with that. And then I thought to myself, okay, well, let me re-examine everything I always thought I knew about, honestly, me believing in God. It was something that was passed on to me by my mom. It was not something that epiphany I came to at a young age. I didn't encounter in a being, even though I've been reading the Bible since I could read. If I had to just be truthful and open and honest about it. So for me, it was just a gradual, this don't make sense. And I am one of those
Right.
atheists that leaves room open for evidence that you can prove not only that your God exists, but the others do not.
Ditto.
So if you can do that for me, not just prove that your God exists, but prove to me Thor does not. Prove to me that Loki does not. Prove to me that the Indian gods do not exist. Prove to me that Shavana or what's his name, Allah, does not exist. So for the very reasons that you do not believe those gods exist, I just don't believe in one more.
Yep. But it's so exactly like I read I wanna say approximately 10 versions of the Bible in
Okay, so let's just say
in,
one thing
in
really quick for our visitor here, because you are a visitor, you are a guest. This is not a debate. It's a live show. So like we're not gonna go back and forth with you or any other Christian or any other theist. I mean, we might make a show for something like that, but as your Bible says, there's a time and place for everything under the sun. So you're in our house, so behave. So you said, Molly, that you read 10 different translations of the Bible.
right. So I read the Catholic canon, Greek Catholic canon, the Protestant canon, um, the New World Translation, like various Bibles, versions of the Bible, in Spanish, English, and Hungarian. And I found that even the same versions, like even the Catholic Bible, gives off a different vibe in Spanish than it does in English or Hungarian. And I was like, why is that? Why is that when I compare my English Bible to my Hungarian Bible, it's this different? Why is that if you ask, like you said, if you ask a Christian which Bible is actually true, or which version of your God is actually true, because is Jesus your God? Is the Holy Spirit your God? Is God your God and Jesus is his son? Like, what the hell is going on with that? Does the Trinity exist? Does it not exist? Did Jesus actually die on a cross or on a stake? Like, there are just way too many questions that
And
Christians.
what's condescending? I actually wrote an article about this. I call them never JWs. But what's condescending is in this moment, Yeah, I got that from my boy Trump. He's not really my boy, but you know what I mean. They'll say to me, I am so sick of them saying, well, you had the wrong religion. You was a Jehovah's Witness. It was a cult, blah, 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 blah. You need to try Jesus. What makes you, as if they're trying to convert you to someone
No,
else.
I
Yeah,
don't
it's like,
need your brand of Jesus. Rejecting
well,
the Bible. My dude is still trying so hard to. No, I did not reject the Bible. I rejected
well,
the
if you
Torah.
acknowledge his comments, I got to flash them on the screen because I was just ignoring them. Because I didn't already
Like,
said this
no,
is not a debate.
like, no. It's- Why do you think our atheism only spreads to your God?
Accepting the Bible doesn't get you to God. Accepting the
Exactly.
Bible does not approve that it exists. It just means that you have a book pointing to some figure that you claim exists. So we'll just flip your logic back on you. Okay, so now we are entering the last part of our stream. The next episode. Oops, I'm doing this wrong, y'all. Here it is. Our next episode next week. Where is it? Oh, I think I may have deleted. Oh, you know what? It's flashing across our screen. It's on the ticker. Duh. The next episode is Black Trans Lives Matter 2. Is this, I didn't actually make it a question, but is this the modern day Black civil rights struggle? And would you want to talk about, I want to buy us coffee in the cash after they're singing? I'm gonna get some water because my voice is giving is giving Grover right now. Hang on. Okay, so yeah, tell our viewers about our buy a coffee thing because I didn't put that up there, but I didn't know.
Yeah, so Buy Me a Coffee is kind of like Patreon, but it's a much simpler system, and you don't necessarily need to create a login for it. You can pick whether you want a returning payment or just a one-time donation or a one-time payment. So it's pretty neat. We do have a Cash App as well for that purpose, which is very neat. It would all go towards the stream and improving the stream for us and for you. And I feel like we have pretty neat things coming on for 2021.
Yay! I hope 2021 is great for us. 2020 was great for us last year. We launched a platform together with a bunch of women.
Mhm.
That was nice and interesting and challenging and all the stuff that come along with dealing with women. Got to fill in the blanks. And that was just we had an interesting time. I also had a really good time. We had a lot of good times. So
We had
I'm just
a
looking.
lot of good times.
We did.
Yes.
We did. But I'm looking
It's
forward
all
to
love.
2021.
It's all
Yes, I'm
love.
making a heart. You can't really see. It's a heart with my hands. It's all love. Oh yeah, there we go. All love. I'm looking
It's
forward
all
to
love.
us transitioning from Duncan religion as a platform because we always people say, okay, well, it's just you and Molly now. Well, honestly, it's always really been me and Molly because we had a platform outside of the glass table for. I mean, it was a really
We did.
small one. Maybe a lot of people didn't know we were on because it was really hard to build that
Find the
platform and the
time.
glass table. And you at the time were making videos, and I was trying to make my own videos. So it was like 3 platforms running. That was just a lot. So we didn't really have a lot to concentrate. So now we devoted a lot of time to our platform. We renamed it and everything. Hopefully you guys like
We
it.
do. We do.
If you have any suggestions, any questions, any comments, we also have a Humanist Skeptics group on Facebook where we it's a nice little tight-lit community. I think it's about 300 people. Our page has far more people than that, but we kind of talk about everything there. So you can join that group there. And we are streaming live to Twitch the second time. So thank you. Shout out to everybody there on Twitch. Sorry to our Twitter people. We can only allowed to stream to 3 people. And today we chose our Facebook, our YouTube, and Twitch people. Maybe we'll switch it up next week and broadcast to Twitter.
We
I
will
don't know.
see how it goes. Yes.
Yes. Of course. So anyway, I guess that's all for us now. Hey Mel,
I guess.
thanks for joining us. He says he's offering to buy soup again. You know what? Why don't you buy those little roast beef sandwiches we used to have at the assemblies with the barbecue sauce packets with the cheese Danish and the what is that? Shasta Pops lemon lime. Oh, I'll take one of
Okay.
them right now.
First of all, how is it that y'all had food at the
Good enough
conventions?
food. Girl, we had chicken sandwiches, we had hoagies, we had all kind of stuff.
Girl, all we had was whatever the hell you took from home.
Are you serious? Y'all didn't have like, okay, you know, my parents said they remember a time when they used to go to the assemblies and they had like soul food, like macaroni and cheese and all of that. They was cooking at this assembly hall called in Grand River around here.
No way.
I don't remember that. But y'all just had sandwiches and stuff y'all brought from home? Poor hungry witnesses.
All you had was whatever you took from home. If you took McDonald's food, you had McDonald's food. If you took chicken sandwich, you had chicken sandwich. If you took fried chicken, you had fried chicken. You could exchange with other brothers and sisters, but you didn't have a buffet.
Girl, we used to have it was like they used to bring the food there, and I used to work there. You have to stir the food. We would have food in the morning and in the afternoon, and sometimes the friends would be so greedy, they would be taking all this food home, and they had to tell them not do that. But yeah, girl, we had a variety of food. You could go out to eat, but it was very strongly discouraged. And they would give you these little tickets. And then you would take these tickets and then you would go up to the counter and get the food. I can't believe y'all ain't do that.
I feel fucking cheated.
Y'all some hungry Hungarian Jehovah's Witnesses over there.
Whenever I hear about y'all having food, and we didn't even have water. You had tap water. You needed to bring everything, okay? What? I'm like, I feel cheated. I want the goddamn cheese Danishes, goddamn it.
Girl, we're gonna find you one of them cheese sandwiches and send you one so you can at least be nostalgic for the rest of us. Y'all, if y'all out here, instead of donating us a coffee, please donate to Molly Cheese Danish Fund. Please get her a cheese Danish, y'all, so she won't be so mad. Well, I guess that wraps us up for today. Until next week again, our next episode, we will be interviewing a wonderful woman who is a part of, I would say, activism in a way that she talks about Black trans lives mattering and how they are Black trans are being almost ultimately erased from Black culture because of the intense transphobia and homophobia that unfortunately Black people, y'all already know how we do behind closed doors and sometimes in public. I mean, they said 12 or 13 transgender women have already died this year, y'all, and it's only February. So, and these are hate crimes, some of them. So maybe all of them, who knows? Because of people just can't mind their own business and let people live their lives. I don't know. So we'll talk more in depth about that with her. If you have any questions, make sure you submit it to us and that we can ask her. It's going to be a way for us to promote understanding. Join our group, the Black and Queer Ex-Jehovah's Witness Alliance group. We had kind of like Avengers or Marvel in mind that we are combining our forces together to promote and create unity and understanding between the two communities. So make sure you check that out. And I think that's all of my promos and plugs that I can think of. Is that it, Molly?
That's all for me.
All right,
that's all
bye. See you next week. Bye.